Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome back to my channel. This is the first and probably only video that I'm filming for this channel in this room. This is like my temporary room for like a month and a half because I moved from Maryland to California, but I'm like in my hometown for a very short amount of time before moving to San Diego. Yeah, that's why there's like no bookshelves or books or anything behind me. So I hope that doesn't bother you. Couple little things. I have decided to change the name of this channel to The Minimalist Reader because I think it is more like encompassing of me as a reader. The whole idea is that I'm gonna own less books. I'm going to be probably getting rid of books as soon as I finish reading them, unless they are so amazing that I am definitely going to be rereading them. I'm gonna own less books, but I'm gonna read more books. So I feel like I get really overwhelmed by my TBR pile. So the more books that are on my TBR pile, like the less I read, which is weird. And then like I'll buy more books and my book pile gets bigger and bigger and bigger, which is not good. So you might know I've kind of put myself on a book buying ban. Maybe you might not know that, but I have. So I'm not buying any more books. And then I brought the majority of my unread books with me to my hometown to read during the summertime. So if you haven't seen my summer TBR video, then go check that out because I am actually reading those books, which is great. Let's jump into the books I read in June. So June was crazy. June started out with me and my husband driving from Maryland to California. So that was kind of like the first week of June. And then I was in this new space and like trying to set it up and make it feel like home. And while that was happening, I really wasn't reading very much. And then we went to Disneyland. And so most of my reading happened like in the last week of June, which is why I only read 2 books in June. But I am also kind of going to talk about what I've been reading in July without it really being like a July wrap up, because I've already finished a few books in July. So I just want to let you know that, because while I didn't read that much in June, I'm really proud that I'm out of my reading slump and I've been really feeling like reading a lot. So the first book I finished in June was The Help by Katherine Stockett. So this, if you saw my summer TBR video, I wanted to make sure I read this book first because I've been putting it off and I was supposed to be co-reading this with my friend Rachel, but she finished it long before I did because I was in a horrible reading slump. But I finally read it and it was so good. If you don't know what The Help is about, it follows a couple of women of color who were maids back in the 60s, as well as a white woman who gets the opportunity to write kind of like this tell-all about what it's like to be a woman of color, or a maid in particular, in Jackson, Mississippi in this time period. I have no way of knowing what it's like to be a woman of color in any time period ever. So when I read these books, it's kind of like, it opens my eyes a little bit as much as it possibly can. I don't know if I gave this like a 4.5 out of 5 stars or like 4 out of 5 stars, but I did really enjoy it. But as I am the minimalist reader now, in my wrap-ups I'm gonna let you know if I'm gonna be keeping the book or donating it. And so this I will be donating because I don't see myself rereading it, but I would like to give it to someone who will read it because I think that it needs to be read. I also read Everything by Nicola Yoon. So one of you commented in my summer TBR video that you read this in like a day, and so I saw that and I'm like, yes, I need a book that I can read in a day so I can finish it before June ends. So I read this and I read it in a day and it was really good. It was really cute. So if you don't know what Everything is about, it follows a girl who is allergic to everything, and so she has to stay in her home. She's not allowed to leave. Like, it could literally kill her if she comes into contact with something that she's allergic to. So a family moves in next door, and of course there is a boy who is really cute, and she kind of takes an interest in him and he takes an interest in her. And so it's this little bit of a love story, but it's like, how can you even imagine that working out, because she could never leave her house. So that's sort of the premise of it. And you're rooting for her and you're rooting for them. I think I ended up giving it like 3.5 out of 5 stars. Cause I don't know, like it was good, but it didn't totally blow my mind or anything like that. But yeah, I won't be keeping this. I'll get rid of it and give it to someone who will love it and read it. So those are the 2 books I read in June. So I did want to kind of touch on what I've been reading in July, because I've been reading. So the first book I read in July was Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. So I'll kind of put the cover of it on the screen here. I read it on an e-reader, like an e-reader format on my phone. And I also listened to part of it in audiobook. So that was kind of inspired by an episode of the Minimalist podcast. And my husband and I are really kind of looking at our finances and trying to figure out how we want to go about things. We're still pretty young. We're like in our mid-20s. So we're trying to be like responsible and think about the future and everything. So I highly recommend Total Money Makeover if you feel like you're overwhelmed by all finance stuff. He writes it in a way that's really accessible, I think, to people who don't know a lot about finances like me. I'm kind of like financially dumb in that way. So it was really interesting, and it was also really motivating for us to get going on that. So that was like probably a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I like books like that get me motivated to change my life for the better. Okay, so I read that, and I'm giving ratings. Like, why am I giving ratings? I'll talk about all of these in my July wrap up, but I guess I should touch on them a lot quicker because I'm going on the 15-minute mark here. Okay, so I also finished I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Just really quickly, I'll let you know, if you saw me talk about The Sky Is Everywhere and how much I hated that book, it's very rare for me to hate a book, but I hated The Sky Is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. As much as I hated that, I loved this. So, but I'll talk more about it in my July wrap up. And then I literally just finished The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson. I finished it last night, so again, I'll do more of my thoughts in my wrap up and not like right now. But it was cute. Like, it was very Morgan Matson. It was fun to read during the summertime. It kind of made me think about when I had my group of friends and there were 4 of us, just like in the book, and the fun we had during the summer and during the school year and everything. And I love the love story, thought it was adorable, but yeah, I'll talk more about it in my wrap up. And then I'm not going to get into like a July TBR kind of thing because I feel like it'll just be really repetitive of my summer TBR, but I am about to start this book. This is Dangerous Girls by Abigail Haas, and all I really know about it is that it's like a thriller and I think someone dies, and I don't know why I think it's like Pretty Little Liars-esque. Maybe I saw that in someone's booktube video, that it was Pretty Little Liars-esque. So I'm just really excited to get into this because it seems like it's gonna be fast. I hope it's gonna be a fast read. Speaking of Pretty Little Liars, that's all I can say. It's not even, I didn't even say anything, but I have words. I have words about that show. So if you feel what I'm feeling like through the screen right here, then we can like rant in the comment section because I'm angry about how that ended for so many reasons. But anyway, that was a weird little tangent. So yes, I hope you enjoyed this like June wrap up / July, like what I'm reading type video. I'm sorry I haven't posted in the last week or so, but that's just because of moving. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do like next week, or there probably won't be a video next week just because I'm moving. Like, I'm gonna be driving down to San Diego. Hopefully by August things will start to settle down and I'll have like a background and everything will look good, hopefully. So that is it for this video. I'm gonna shut up and stop rambling, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for book videos because that's what I do. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next one in a few weeks. I'm sorry it's gonna take a long time, but a few weeks. Mwah.